Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And let's talk Pokemon. Okay, so Pokemon Go, folks are still enamored with that, myself included. And I last made a Discord video talking about that app and Facebook Messenger. Some of you saw that, checked it out. I appreciate you watching. Uh, Big thumbs up for people who've just been watching the channel in general. I really appreciate that. I'm in the next phase of executing goals for this year for this channel and just, life in general. So that being said, I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to everybody who's been watching and supporting. All my Patreons, again, thank you. Would not be able to really make these next moves without your input and financial support. So that being said, let's continue talking about Pokemon Go. Now, remember, this is a game, but for some people, this is everything. And I get it. I understand. So when it comes to, how you play the game, it's not anyone's place to tell you how you should play it or how to enjoy it, except for the company. The company has their rules. Now, when you get into communities online in different cities, they have their own rules too, right? Some of them are like, oh, we don't like using, we had a thing called rocket maps, which, would show you where Pokemon were all over, whatever city you were in. Depending on if your city had somebody who had that hookup, you could say, oh, hey, right down Main Street, here's a Chansey. You need Chansey? Well, there it is. Let me go get it. Now, actually setting that up, probably something Niantic would not approve of. If you're reaping the benefits of that, because you just, happen to be in a chat or group, not sure what the ethical, response to that is, but what I'm trying to get at, there's different levels of terms of service that people break all the time. One of those is, having multiple accounts or, doing a raid for somebody else. Some people feel like, hey, that's on the same line as spoofing. But be honest, if your fiance, loved one, or, best friend, whoever, they're not free to do a raid and they ask you to do it, you've got their phone or another phone that you can log in for them and do the raid for them, is that the same as sitting here on your couch and logging in and doing a raid or knocking somebody out of a gym? I don't feel that way. Personally, I don't. So my group, I don't care that you do those raids for other people. Not some people have to work and they get these passes. Should they just quit their job or request time off to do that? It's not that serious. But if somebody can do it for them, they would be there if they could. But you doing this raid because you feel like you don't want to drive, I don't think that's the same. I just don't. So, I hit one word there, spoofing. What is that? Now, you can look that up for yourself. I'm not going to get into how, but what it actually is tricking the game into thinking that you're at one location when you're really at another. You're spoofing your GPS. You're telling the game that you're somewhere that you're actually not. For example, I'm here in my home, but spoofing would allow, the game to think that I'm in Australia or not even Australia, just down the block somewhere. Because the further you spoof, the game is constantly checking of where you're actually at. It's not going to let you say you're in Australia for 10 minutes and all of a sudden you're back here in, Greensboro, North Carolina. It's not going to fly. They're going to catch you. You're going to be banned. And that's really what's most important. Some of you don't read the rules on these pages. That's been there forever on mine. Hey, spoofing, that's prohibited. And it's one of those gray areas where it's like, hey, you got a kid or kids that are disabled, or you yourself, older person might be disabled and you can't enjoy the game. It's like, hey man, 3DS, Game Boy, that's for people who can't get out. It's Pokemon Go, not, you know. But those are arguments that have different layers, because somebody has already seen me with the Game Boy, 3DS, saying, hey man, I'm disabled so I can't touch that. But it's not about this game, it's about Pokemon Let's Go. Some of you are able to walk, which is what you're supposed to be doing, but you're driving and playing and yada yada. It just, you can keep going with different semantics. So what am I actually rambling about? We had some people spoofing, and in the past we kicked them out the group permanently. No coming back from that. And the rules are there so that you understand that this is what's okay in this community, this is what's not okay. So if you don't read those and you get banned, I'm sorry. Sorry, kind of not sorry, It's unfortunate that happens, but when you read those rules, what it says is about 3 or 4 questions. One of them is, will you read the rules, when you join the group, there's a question asking you, will you read the rules? And if you read them, spoofing is up there. So you got kids and, they're disabled or whatever your reason is. If you spoof, I was lenient enough to say, just don't bring it in the chat. Don't bring it in the messenger. Don't bring it on the page. Don't bring it on the Discord. I'm sure that's what they've got over there as well. It's just don't do it, because for everybody that's spending their time and money going to these locations to do these raids to catch these Pokemon, it's almost a backhanded slap in the face to say, oh, so-and-so is wherever, and they're also doing the raid. You kind of feel a certain kind of way, like, on one hand, some people are like, I don't care. We were short-handed, so the spoofer helps. But on the other hand, it's like, no, dude, you need to be here just like we are. Because if we could sit home and do the same thing, we would. But really, what's the fun in that? Like the memory in, it's just like a video game. The save file is your progress. Do you want to continue off of somebody else's save file? Do you feel the same completing a game where somebody else had done all the work? I don't know. I don't think so. But who really cares, right? Some people care. And when I say what I'm about to say, people weren't happy with it, but it's really how I feel. I don't care that you spoof. I really don't. But don't bring it in the chat. Don't bring it in the Facebook page. Don't bring it around other people who do, because here's what it is. It's those feelings that I already talked about, but it sends a message that, as a community, it's okay to cheat, and it's not. At least not in that regard, because you put other people at risk. Niantic has already been strict about it, like, hey, we will ban you permanently. So it's your account that you're risking being just expunged, not expunged, but exterminated, excuse me. And they're not going to expunge that offense. I think you get a 3rd strike now. You get like 2 or 3 strikes, and then after that, that's a wrap. You got to start all over. And there's some of these Pokemon that just don't even spawn anymore. And I know you don't want that. No one wants that. You may not even play the game anymore after that. So, you got your kids playing or whoever, fine. They can enjoy the game like that if that's what they want, but don't prohibit other players from enjoying the game. If you're getting in the gym to get your coins and you're spoofing and you're not there actually joining in, the next guy that's walking up to the gym can't get in because you were the 6th of the 6 spaces, and that was supposed to have been their spot. If, you weren't spoofing. If you would have got up off the couch or wherever you're playing at and actually showed up, those are reasons why, people really get upset. So, yeah, if you're spoofing and you're a fan, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You're just going to have to move on. Start a new account. You just can't play with everyone. So I understand how it's hurtful, but remember, it's a game. So that out of the way, we're done with spoofing, but we're still going to talk Pokemon because as of this video, they announced that Pokemon Go Fest is going to happen 4 times this year. Yeah, 4. One in Chicago, where it's normally been, and for 4 days. Another is going to be in Germany somewhere for 4 days, and then another one in Asia. So I think I said 4 times. I think it's 3 times. 3 times that at least have been confirmed. So the details for that last one haven't been fully announced yet, but it's coming. You can get one of the 4 days only if you're buying. That way everyone has a chance to go. I'm excited. Hopefully I get to go. I haven't gone to any of them before. And, as an admin of the group, I felt like, I should have been at one of them, but it really wasn't super serious for me in the beginning, especially with the first one. If you remember, it was a disaster. A lot of people have a bitter taste in their mouth based on not even being able to enjoy it. You're spending money and gas and whatever to get there, and then the service, reception for your cell phone is not allowing you to really even enjoy the game. So I think they got that right in the past 2 Go Fests. So we'll see what happens this go around. But I'm excited. It shows the game, it's still marketable and people are still enjoying it. So that's everything I wanted to talk about Pokemon Let's Go. Or I'm sorry, Pokemon Go. Now we're going to move over to Let's Go. A few videos ago, not even a few, many videos ago, I talked about Pokemon Let's Go because people asked, why should I get this game? Which game should I get? Should I get the Pikachu or Eevee? What's up with the Pokeball Go Plus? So what I told you was it's a paywall and that I wasn't going to get it. But here's the deal. I finally got one. So I'm actually going to end this video here and we'll spend a few minutes talking about it in the next one.